Yes, it is. And let's go to shared screen. Bang. Okay, and now come over here and go play from start. One more click and we'll get this thing going. All right. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome. Mac Atkinson here. And on behalf of Julie Herring, Wendy Huff, Judy Dinsler, and Lisa Powers, we want to welcome you all to our Spring Allergy Awareness presentation. We are going to be talking a little bit about Sunrider Foods today. So as we usually do, I'd just like to share with everyone that none of the information provided in this presentation is intended to represent a diagnosis or cure of any illness or disease. And since we are going to talk about Sunrider, just very quickly, for anybody new, perhaps listening to this recording or on the call with us today, Sunrider is our business partner. The company's been around for over 40 years, so it's extremely stable. It operates in over 50 countries around the world, allowing those of us that choose to at a certain rank to participate internationally with Sunrider, which is one of my loves for sure. Sunrider, unique to this industry, handles 100% of the research, development, and manufacturing of its products. And folks, that truly is unusual because most companies in our industry will simply hand off a recipe to a third party and say, go make my product for me. They have no control over the process. That is completely opposite at Sunrider. Again, Sunrider internally handles all of the research, development, and manufacturing of over 400 of what I think are some of the finest health and beauty products in the world. Herbal nutritional foods, cleansing beverages, weight management, sports and fitness, green household, and all natural cosmetics, all manufactured here in the United States. And if that's not enough to think why maybe I should be looking at this industry, I will share one other fact with you all, and that is that the wellness and the beauty industry, which is what we are in, is a $6 trillion worldwide industry. So if all of these things aren't enough, then that one should be. In any case, with all of that said, let me get off of here. And Lisa, I'd like to turn to you to kick off our call for us today.
Okay, thank you. You know, I did research for this little short part that I have, and it was so interesting, and I will never ever take allergies lightly again after learning what I learned. So I'm going to share just a little bit of this with you, and hopefully you'll see the importance of understanding it. So allergies occur when our immune system reacts to a foreign substance such as pollen, bee venom, pet dander, or foods that don't cause a reaction in most people. Our immune system produces substances known as antibodies. When you have allergies, your immune system makes antibodies that identify a particular allergen as harmful, even though it isn't. When you come into contact with the allergens, our overzealous immune system's reaction can inflame skin, sinuses, airways, I'm going to let somebody in, or digestive system. The severity of allergies varies from person to person and can range from minor irritation to anaphylaxis, a potentially life-threatening emergency. So notice what I said, that allergies are caused by an overzealous immune system. And that's according to Mayo Clinic and an amazing article in the National Geographic magazine. Mac, you wanna, can I?
Done. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Don't let that distract you.
Well, just go to the picture of the National Geographic magazine. In that magazine called Our Immune System, The Wars Within. Can I move this or do you have to?
I've got you covered.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. So it's calling it an overzealous immune system. That's what allergies are. And so why is it important to take note of that? Because our goal in Sunrider is to take care of our health, is to create balance in each of our systems. Our immune system has mechanisms in place, such as T cells, B cells, phagocytes, macrophages. Go back to that picture. I'm going to talk a little bit.
My bad.
It's all right. Seen here in these pictures, to name a few, and their job is to fight off invaders. So this National Geographic, if you can see it, it is such a good article. And it's one that calls the immune system, or the allergies, an overzealous immune system. And so this is some of what this right here is, the allergens that we are talking about with allergies. And then this one here is the immune system working, and it's a macrophage going after and destroying a bacteria. This one I just found so interesting. This is our T cells that are going after a cancer that's metastasizing. And what happens is, this is the first picture of it going after it. Then over here, the immune system is destroying the cancer, and the body sloughs the rest of this off. But here's, oh, it just gives me chills every time I say this. This is when the skeleton of the cancer is sitting there, a dead cancer, but this is a T cell that sits there as a little soldier to make sure if it started up again, this would start happening again. So that's part of our immune system that we want to take care of and have it working properly. So if we have an overactive or an overzealous immune reaction to things that we're exposed to that isn't necessary, that we can actually feed our bodies and bring our body back to balance, then that's what we really want, is because we want our immune system to be strong and running, and not be running overzealously with allergic reactions. So it gave me a whole other perception of what allergies are, and hopefully for you as well. So now that we know what an allergy is, what can we do about it? And next is Judy.
Judy, are you unmuted?
Oops, I got muted. And now am I?
Yes,
First
you are.
time, second time's a charm this time. Okay, so we all may suspect we have allergies or sensitivities, or maybe we used to in the past, before, in our BS days before Sunrider, or we all have friends that have allergies, and we wish they were doing more about them so that they could enjoy life more. But here are some practical steps that we can do. The first in our 4Ds is dilution. What would you rather have, a teaspoonful of poison or a teaspoonful of poison in a gallon of water? What are you more likely to survive with? Obviously, the diluted one. So dilution, water is one of the simplest, most effective things. So if you've been outside, even if it's pollen that affects you, even if it's dust, drink some water. Dilute the whole effect that it's having on you. I have a semi-unhealthy friend, extremely overweight, but he was smart enough to know, prone to asthma, if he starts feeling like something's aggravated him, he'll drink an immediate gallon of water. Now, in Sunrider, we know water, of course, but we also have Cali and Fortune Delight to add to it, which even flushes better. Cali drawing, Fortune Delight flushing. Okay, our next one is decontamination. First of all, don't you want to be sure what you're purchasing isn't dusty? Doesn't have any sneak in animal droppings, or doesn't have anything you might be, maybe you're allergic to mouse hair. You certainly don't want that in what you're purchasing to eat if you buy boxed food, or if you're purchasing health products. So I like the second picture up there because it reminds me of visiting the Sunrider plant. So first of all, everything you're purchasing from Sunrider is so clean. You're not even allowed to be in there unless you have masked, shoes covered, hair covered, everything. And they go over and over cleaning. It's a multi-step process. I visited an herb shop once when I was searching for things that would help one of my children, and all the herbs are sitting open in paper sacks. And the owner, I don't know if he had allergies or probably from all the dust in his shop, or if he had a cold, but he's walking around showing me, and I'm wanting to offer him Kleenex because his nose is dripping. And then it suddenly hit me, am I actually going to purchase something that might help my child but contaminate them at the same time with dust and germs and who knows what. And it just was so overwhelming, that thought that I had been spending money that could actually be contributing to the allergies. So absolutely, we want the cleanest possible. And so that includes the vegetables, fruits and vegetables, our table foods we bring in. And of course, fruit and vegetable rinse helps remove all of that. Some people's skin rashes, overreaction to things that they shouldn't really be reacting to is because they aren't cleaning what they're eating first. And that would include meats as well. Absolutely soak your meats before you cook them. All right, and diversity. My goodness, another word for that might be variety. And that will lead into another part here, but diversity means a variety of foods. Most people maybe go back and forth between 3 to 5 vegetables or fruits, and they just eat it continually. Man, my hat's off to you. I like variety. And thank goodness, because the wider range you eat, the more colors, the more types. And then we've even refined that some to the season in which you eat them is going to contribute to your overall health. So diversity, variety. Now, have you ever wondered, some of us on this meeting this afternoon have been eating Sunrider for almost over 30 years and even, getting close to 40 here. So why are we not allergic? My goodness. Every day, I haven't missed too many days. I don't know about the rest of you, but it's rare. Maybe if an order was short or out of town and ran out, but never on purpose. But still, I can honestly say I'm not allergic to anything in Sunrider. And why? What's one of the reasons? All the above. It's clean and all that, but the variety. With Coinary, we have over 50 different plants, herb plants in this. They are very concentrated, but over 50. So if we're having that every day, it's sort of impossible to develop an allergy to one of them. So again, and the same with our eating, we want to eat as wide a range as possible. Now, the fourth thing, discovery, that's kind of like figure it out. Now, we're not talking about experiment. If you have a severe peanut allergy, for instance, that can even be death dealing to some people. We certainly don't want you to experiment with which peanut might not bother you. No, it's not talking about that, but it's talking about two different aspects. I don't know if we have another slide for rotation. Yeah, great. First of all, at the top, we have the common allergens. Allergic food, people have reactions to. The most common doesn't mean you don't have your own blueprint of what you react to, but cow's milk is one of the biggest. That can react either from the intestinal aspect, digestive, or runny nose, runny eyes. Eggs, believe it or not, tree nuts, which are different than peanuts, shellfish, because shellfish are so high in histamine. Now, histamine, don't we take an antihistamine if we have a reaction? So you see immediately when a shellfish is caught, the histamine level just starts rising. Now, because you're allergic to shellfish doesn't mean you're allergic to fish. And fish often is contamination, either spoiling or bacteria. It's maybe not specifically the fish itself. So that will take some investigation. Wheat or that's pretty much expanded. We just call that gluten, right? And especially since 1992, when the processing changed. At first, didn't you kind of think, that's kind of a fad? Everyone's allergic to gluten. It's here to stay because of the way it's processed. So that is a biggie. And then corn. So a lot of people are vegan. They're not eating meat. They're not having even dairy, excuse me, perhaps. But you might benefit from eliminating corn from your diet. And talking too much makes you cough. I had corn chips last night. Okay, so those are some of the common ones, but what do we do? How do we know for sure? Sometimes know, I got away with having some cheese the other day and it didn't bother me. So how can we test? Well, one way is the rotation diet. Now, just like it sounds, that's where you don't eat the same food every day. Now, I personally, if someone asked me if I had allergies, I'd say no. But it's because since I started Sunrider so many years ago, after the first year, I could get away with a lot that I couldn't get away with before. So I assumed I don't have allergies. But I'll guarantee you, if I had cow's milk or cheese or some form of that every day, that would be a different story. So I've learned that with the variety that Sunrider offers, I'm able to get away on times I choose with to have some dairy, and it won't bother me. But if I have dairy 4 days in a row, I'm in trouble. So the 4-day rule has to do with digestion, and that actually should be our 5th D, but that's a whole topic on its own, because digestion is always in need of improvement if you have allergies. But suffice it to say, the rotation diet is designed around the gastrointestinal transit time, which is your GIT. That's how long it takes your body from mouth to elimination to get out of your body. And the average is 4 days for an allergic type food to be removed. So if you have a suspect of a food, try not eating it for 4 days. See if you feel better. When you introduce it on the 4th day, you have a reaction, you need to stay away from it for a while. So that's one thing. Another way to test is called the pulse test. That was developed by a Dr. Arthur Koka in 1956, way back then. So that's when the fast food was coming around. I think it was in 52 was the first fast food restaurant. So anyway, he developed the test, and it basically involved with taking your pulse when you're relaxed, in a relaxed state, and seeing what that is, and then waiting, having something to eat, and then taking it again, and several interval times. And you can find this information if you want to try this. But there's an easier way to do it, and that is this way, because you can't maybe sit all day long and try food after another. First of all, if you're eating whole foods, not combination of things, not packaged things, it'll be easier. And second of all, you can just get a small piece of food that you want to check, sit at a table, rest for a few minutes to allow your pulse rate to drop, then check your pulse at your wrist for a full minute. That's not 30 seconds and doubling it, it's a full minute, and then count how many beats you feel. Once you have your resting pulse rate, put the piece of food on your tongue, only one food type at a time, and keep it there for at least 30 seconds before you check your pulse again for a full minute, and then the food staying on your tongue the entire time. I don't know about you, but certain things I can tell almost instantly. So you kind of get in tune with it, and you can even tell when the heart rate rises with foods that you're highly allergic to. Again, these are self-help things to discover, not in lieu of some of the other things, but when you go through allergy testing and all that, that might be for that day. Maybe you did have cheese the night before you went in for testing, but you really could get away with cheese every 4 days or something. So this is a means of self-help. So again, why do allergies improve? Some people say they got rid of their allergies with Sunrider. It's because of all of the above, and a good encouragement, I hope for you, as it was to me in other areas of my health, is that you can't step into the same river twice. And what that means is the body's constantly changing, constantly flowing. So if you're stepping into the same little puddle, you need to get the flow moving. In other words, change some of your habits, change the way you're eating, add the variety, add the dilution, and you will see improvement, because so many of us have, and we encourage you on that journey. But in the meantime, what are some practical steps that we can do besides these things mentioned? And Wendy, please help us with some of those ideas.
Okay, thank you. So Lisa and Judy have spoken about different principles. Do they actually work in practice though? Well, I'm here to tell you, excuse me, I'm here to tell you that they do. I suffer with chronic allergies and have used various health regimens so I can live an enjoyable life. Some of them are food rotation, avoidance. It's better to avoid the severe allergy attack than deal with it afterwards. Cleansing, eating an anti-inflammatory diet, sanitizing my home, my air, my water, even rotating my Sunrider Foods to great advantage, and periodic liver cleanses. So specifically on rotating my foods, what do I mean? Well, for example, the first day I might eat organic turkey with lots of vegetables. The second day, organic boiled chicken with different vegetables. The third day, tofu, rice, and maybe some fruit. The fourth day, lentil soup and maybe an almond flour flatbread. Now on day 5, I could go to liquids only or back to turkey again. So it's important to eat light. Undigested proteins can cause allergies, and also that's where parasites like to hang out. I find it's beneficial to eat assimilate and digestive enzymes with every meal during the season, especially. I avoid all dairy, red meat, corn, gluten, sugar, prepared foods, excitotoxins, yeast breads. Okay, so what helps me in Sunrider? Dandelion root. It is wonderful for your liver and for inflammation. Alpha-20C for the immune system. Primegan for energy, stamina, adrenal support. I love Fortune Delight. It improves your energy and mood. Kali helps rid the body of mucus by flushing uric and lactic acids as well. And Sunny Dew helps your blood sugar and your energy. Simply Herbs New Plus is very soothing and calming. Vitaspray, it's B vitamins for stress, helps the brain and nerves. Fruit, I like the fruit sun bars because it satisfies that craving for sweets you often get with allergies. Evergreen, it's the detox blood builder. And Sunbury's oil, it really opens up your nose and your head. So I do also use adrenal support and homeopathic histamine blockers so I can avoid overusing antihistamine medications. They can totally dry you out and lead to other problems like kidney problems. I've been drinking a lot of alkaline water to keep flushing the system and diluting the toxins, and I really like this water. Our fruit and veggie rinse is fantastic. I clean all the produce, even organic produce can have bacteria and bugs on it. I've sometimes put it in 3 capsules and took them 1 or 2 times a day on a very short term for candida and fungal issues, then follow up with lots of Vitadophilus. I've paired Sunrider Super Clean with fruit and veggie rinse to clean my kitchen counters, refrigerator, bathroom, etc. We have great laundry products that are pure and clean with nice natural fragrances. You know, here in Prescott, northern Arizona, we have had multiple fires. The dry wind blows pollen, smoke, and ash, seriously polluting the air. Many are complaining about the smell of smoke even in their homes. We use a HEPA filter air purifier with an ionizer and ozone, so at least I can keep our home environment safe. It's very important to have a safe place. We're encouraged to change the filters once a month during allergy season for the air conditioning and heating system. Allergists recommend washing your sheets once a week and changing your pillowcases even more often. Frequently wash your hair. May I say too, a mask will help in the wind to combat allergies if that's politically correct. Don't wear clothes to bed, even for a brief nap. If we're going to hike, bike, play pickleball, whatever, we'll do it early before the wind starts. If I can't go out, I use my mini trampoline to get to great advantage. It keeps moving the lymph and it's fun, and I'm not defeated by the weather, which helps me emotionally. Well, there's no cure for my allergy sensitivities. What I've outlined here has greatly assisted in my living a fulfilling life. I'm very appreciative to Sunrider and all of you kind and supportive friends who've joined us today and those who will listen on the recording. Thank you, and I really hope you'll benefit from this class. So now we're going to hear from Julie Herring.
Hi, my topic today is about cleansing our liver. The question is it time for a detox? Well, the answer to this question is always yes. Remember, springtime is green time and a very good time to cleanse the liver. Just like we usually do house cleaning to get the dust and the germs and the mildew and get rid of old things we no longer need out of the house. Well, we want to do that with the liver as well. Liver cleanses help purge the body of excess toxins and help alleviate our digestion and increase our energy levels. And we all want that, right? But remember, the liver serves as a filter for everything circulating in the blood. It breaks down hormones, testosterone, estrogen. It detoxifies water and fat-based soluble chemicals like drugs, medications, pesticides, and it neutralizes these toxins. The liver even stores vitamins and minerals. Unfortunately, it also stores most toxins that the body simply cannot break down. So you might be asking, what does liver cleansing have to do with allergies? Well, natural healing teaches us that the more toxic we become, the more reactive and sensitive we become. That's right. The more layers of toxins that we have in the body, and trust me, we all have layers, the more sensitive we become to toxins or allergens. And that's why it's so important to cleanse, especially if we suffer from lots of different types of allergies. How do you know if you're experiencing signs of liver imbalance? What would be the signs? Well, here's a few. Are you bothered by PMS? Poor digestion, especially when eating a lot of fats, a meal that has a lot of fatty foods in it. Do you suffer more frustration and anger, chronic stress, chronic allergies, weakened immunity, hormonal imbalance, poor eyesight? I'm wearing glasses. Fatigue, low energy, headaches, migraines. How about skin problems like rashes, eczema, acne, elevated liver enzymes, leaky gut syndrome? The liver cleanse has been a vital part of health for every culture for thousands of years. And it's said to be excuse me, you're right, Judy, I've got something in my throat too. It's been a foundation for a healthy body and mind. But you might ask, if that's the case, why are we so sick? Well, let's go to the next slide and we're going to see all sorts of things that are in our food that can make us sick, like isolated soy protein, whey protein. They're sold everywhere as diet or muscle building shakes, but tests show it's really hard on the liver and kidneys. But be assured that Sunrider doesn't use any isolated protein. Our New Plus and VitaShake are all whole foods. Then there's hydrogenated fats and oils. Those are super toxic for the liver because they've been gassed. Then we have a picture there of prescription medications. We all know about that. It just goes right to the liver and kidneys. Processed meats like salami, hot dogs, sausage have been preserved by smoking, curing, or salting, or by the addition of preservatives. When these meats are smoked, they absorb tars that arise from their own incomplete process. So these tars contain carcinogens that are chemically similar to tars in tobacco. Ugh, sticky tar, that's why it hurts the liver and may even produce cancer in the pancreas. Then there's MSG, such a controversial ingredient. Glad I have my sunny days here. But a lot of people experience symptoms to MSG. They have new studies have been out saying that it's really not a toxin, but people react to it. But they can react to it because it has, it's glutamate, and we have glutamate receptors in our body. So what happens is our heart controls heart rhythms, so people can get arrhythmia from that heart attack. Another thing is, let me take one of these, is aflatoxins. It's a result of fungal contamination before and after a harvest. Aflatoxins is just food that's contaminated with fungus. You don't see it, you can't taste it, but it affects ground nuts, tree nuts, corn, rice, other dried foods, spices, crude vegetable oils, and even cocoa beans. And it also is in a lot of pet food, and it really is life-threatening to the liver and the kidney in both humans and pets. Then there's a ton of environmental toxins. Did you know there's reports that are coming out right now that say that we have microplastics in our blood? That's scary. That's a huge reason why we need to detox on a daily basis. You know, I started using a home water purifier decades ago because I heard someone say, if you don't purify your water, your liver will. I thought about that and I thought, wow, that is the first step to keep toxins out of the water and out of my liver. So a water purifier is always good. And especially when you start using Cali, you start noticing by when you make Cali, all those terrible things that are in your water will come up to the top of Cali. And you can actually even spoon it off in some households. So it's always good to have good water. There's so many ways to cleanse the liver. Some are natural, some strong or more drastic. Always do strong and drastic cleansing under professional supervision, because if you try to cleanse too quick, too strong, and your body can't keep up, then you will get what is called a ping pong effect. And that's where the toxins just simply enter into another organ or many organs. So you don't want that. That's not a good thing. So one way of cleansing is in a natural, safe way is using whole foods. We were designed to do that. So whole foods like fresh fruit and vegetables, we all know that. Now, when you eat fresh fruit, it's best to eat it alone. Even if it's an apple, eat it alone. Don't eat it with a meal, because what happens is if you eat that healthy fruit with carbohydrates, pasta or bread, especially meat, it just slows down the digestion of the fruit, because meat takes a long time to go through the indigestion process. So then what happens is the fruit starts fermenting and it starts blowing up your intestines with gas and digestive toxins. And guess what? It clogs up the liver. So always eat fresh fruit alone and you'll get total benefits of what it will do for your body. Then we have like beets, carrots, chicory root, cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, you all know those, bitter greens, wild greens, lemons, limes, fresh parsley. You know, Sunrider offers also simple, safe, food-grade herbal formulas to help cleanse. I personally like and use all the time dandelion root, Cali, Fortune Delight, and Slim Caps to assist in cleansing because they're safe, they're natural, and it's a very healthy way to do it. Well, what is dandelion good? You've heard a couple of the other speakers talk about dandelion. Dandelion is one of the best blood builders and gentle purifiers available. And Sunrider's dandelion is super concentrated. It is the juice of dandelion. It's not all the bulk plant. So you get concentrated levels of therapeutic doses of iron, fiber, flavonoids, essential fatty acids, and antioxidants. Dandelion can restore and balance the blood. It supports healthy digestion, and it truly protects the liver. So it's also protects from all the negative effects of free radicals in the body. You know, free radicals are things that go around and start attacking your cells. Historically, dandelion has also been used to open the urinary passage and nourish the kidneys. So because of that, you know, if we're constantly being able to cleanse the liver and the kidneys, then that helps us build endurance, build energy, and because we're not having so much toxic overload. And guess what? Our reactiveness of the to allergens will start fading away as well. I have to tell you, when I started using Sunrider, I used to have terrible allergies. And when I started using Quinary with Prinogen and Conco and all the variety of the foods, my allergies every year got better and better until I hardly have them. So that is because of the variety, what Judy brought out in her talk. Another one is Vitalite Slim Caps. They're designed to work with the body's own natural cleansing process. And they have some really cool ingredients. One is gardenia fruit, and that is has lots of phytonutrients, carotenoids, and it's very protective antioxidant. So it goes around just getting rid of the things that can hurt our cells. Then it has Chinese rhubarb root, and it's also known as da huang. Now, this specifically supports the liver and the colonic function, and it helps the production of bile and digestive fluids. So that is why it helps get it moving through. It also has Chinese golden seal root in it. Then that's Chinese golden seal root. Of course, we know it has berberine in it, which helps bacteria, but it also supports digestive health. Then there's skullcap. That is a plant full of antioxidants that reduces oxidative stress in the tissues, including the liver. So that's why I love slim caps. And you can use it as directed on the bottle, and for a short period of time, and then you can use, alternate it again. Now, last but not least is drink Cali and Fortune Delight daily. Cali not only helps cleanse gently, but I personally love Cali because it is a gentle cleanser, but it also cleanses cobwebs from my brain. So when I wake up in the morning, I drink Cali, and wow, then I'm ready to think after that. And Cali for me is an astringent, like, when you suck on a lemon and your mouth, you go like that and the mouth just puckers up. Well, for me, Cali is that type of a cleansing effect. It is 4 times more concentrated than traditional green tea. And it has ingredients that have a natural diuretic property. So it draws, and it also helps remove. Cali also protects free radicals from our body's natural cleansing and digestive processes. And it's a super tea. It just is. It's very concentrated in catechins, in bioflavonoids, and all the other strong antioxidants. Then when we drink Fortune Delight, it has many different ingredients, but one is really cool. It's jasmine extract, and this flower supports digestion, toxin removal, metabolism, and circulation. So for me, my how I feel about them, Cali helps draw, and Fortune Delight helps flush. And I love them both, and I drink them both daily, like you can see right here. I have it right here. So in conclusion, remember to cleanse safely, naturally, and every day. You can use healthy table foods. You can use Sunrider's formulas. That way also your energy levels will rise as you gently detox, and hopefully your allergies will get better and better as you use the Sunrider products. And now we'd like to turn it back over to Mac.
Hey, thank you, Julie. That was absolutely wonderful. And, I love the fact that we were able to bring in and share so much on the Sunrider Foods today. That's just been terrific. As we always say, I learn something every single time we do one of these calls. It was great to have the refresher on slim caps in particular. So thank you for that. As I think back to what each of you have said, it's really been wonderful because, Lisa, it started with you, and I got to tell you, those pictures from National Geographic really were a great visual for me in seeing how our immune system works and how the T cells go after the bad actors in our body. I must say for me personally too, over this last 2 weeks, I've been going through a cleanse. First of all, a liver cleanse, which has been really interesting. Julie, one of the first things I got off of was that cup of coffee every day, the caffeine. And to your point, the Cali Fortune Delight. Now, Joey and I, my wife and I, we drink it in combination, our temple tea, if you will. And I have not had any kind of issue in terms of coming off of caffeine. It has been such a wonderful treat to start my day with Cali and Fortune Delight instead, as I continue on for the day. Certainly, the allergy things in what Judy was talking about in terms of rotation and how we can identify what's bothering us. Coming off of the cleanse, I think it was the second full day that we were back on whole foods again. I hadn't had eggs in quite a while, so I thought, well, this will be good. I'll do a little frittatas, vegetables, stay within the vegetable program and do some eggs. I got such itching afterwards. I couldn't figure out what it was. Well, I haven't eaten eggs again, and the itching is not coming back. So I love the idea of testing these things and seeing how the body reacts. Just fabulous stuff. And lastly, Wendy, thank you so much for sharing your personal testimony on what you go through every year, every day, frankly, in terms of your allergies. And, you know, the reference back to the Sunrider facilities and the HEPA filters and how clean things are, which ties back into what Judy was talking about too with decontamination. My background is pharmaceutical manufacturing, where we had to manufacture under GMP standards, cleanest standards of anything in terms of manufacturing. I got to tell you folks, Sunrider does not have to, but they choose to operate under those more stringent pharmaceutical grade GMP standards in terms of cleanliness. So you'll never find anything like was described. Was it Judy? Which one of you described the whole Chinese walking into the Chinese store and looking at the herbs in the bags and all that kind of stuff? That was great. I had a similar experience in London. There was this great store right next to the hotel I was staying at, and they were all about Chinese herbs. So I figured, hey, I'm in Sunrider. I've got to go at least see what this thing looks like. I walked in and it was about the same. There was little bugs flying around and stuff was up in the air. And instead of bags, this gentleman had kind of a cupboard and all of his herbs were in these little drawers that he would pull out, you know? So it was just wild, but great stuff. Look, everybody, this has been fabulous. I can't thank you guys enough. Lisa, Judy, Wendy, Julie, fantastic information. And again, folks, as much as we can implement these things, maybe we can find that it's time again to go out and smell the flowers. I'd like to end the session if I can. Most of you are probably aware that we did put out 5 bingo cards for the month of April, and everyone had the ability to play along from each of the 5 cards during the month. Many people sent in their information in terms of their bingos, and I really want to encourage, before I do this drawing here, for more people to get involved in the months of May and June. I'll be releasing, I promise, no later than Monday, 5 new bingo cards for the month of May. We'll make sure we get them out. We'll put them on the website, or the Facebook page, I should say. We'll get them out to the leaders that can then disseminate so everyone can print these things out. And again, folks, this is fun. And I think, well, I would have suspected whoever's going to win this $50 account credit that we're going to be providing them as the winner for April, maybe we'll encourage some others to play in the months of May and June. So with no further ado, and can I ask a question, because I'm recording this, can you guys see me now, or am I not visible? Can somebody, yeah, you can see me, good. Okay, well then you'll have to trust me. All the names went in the bag, I promise. Everything's being tipped around, and I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to dip my hand in, and the winner of the $50 account credit, get 1 Mac, not 2, is Kathy Konsick, actually. Kathy, you're on with us today, aren't you? I think she is. Anyway, what I'll be doing on Monday is I will make sure I get a $50 account credit put on your Sunrider account for you. So congratulations. Way to go.
Yay, Kathy.
Right on.
Yay.
Right on. Absolutely. Look, everybody, again, this is fun. So come play with us in the next couple of months, okay? I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen now. We're going to go ahead and stop this recording. Although before I stop the recording, panel members, were there any final comments? Judy, Lisa, Wendy, Julie? I mean, anybody?
They just need to know that you're going to make it so we can print those bingo cards out.
I promise. I'll do a better job.
I just wanted to add that everyone did such a nice job covering everything, but I failed to mention that Alpha 20C, you can take extra, and this is the time to take it, since I think everyone's convinced now that the immune system is involved with allergies. So this is a time to maybe add extra to your quinine, what you're already doing, extra Alpha 20C. I know it always makes a tremendous difference for me, even in energy level, when I boost my immune system. So definitely, if you have allergies, you would consider increasing this.
Excellent, Judy. Thank you. Any other comments before we close down this part of the call? All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'm going to shut this